to my channel. My name is Jackie K, and today I wanted to make like a cute little short video. I've been wanting to make these videos for a long time, and I just haven't because I don't know why I haven't. Just because I think people aren't going to be interested in it, but I'm gonna be doing a lot more things that I guess I'm just gonna, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to be doing a lot more videos that are like, I like to make, you know what I'm saying? Versus like what I feel like I should be making. Which, as you can tell, girl, it's not a lot. It's very sporadic. But, so I wanted to talk about my dream last night because it was so weird. I feel like I always have like really crazy weird dreams. And I don't know why. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. I think it's also because I take some CBD melatonin before I go to bed because I have difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep. So I think that's because of that. But even before that, I was having like weird dreams. Like, I just have weird dreams in general. So it is right before 8 o'clock, so I woke up around 7, and I thought might as well just make a video because I don't remember my whole dream, but I can remember like the pivotal moments that were kind of like weird. And I'm like, what are my dreams trying to tell me? So hold on, my chair is like sinking down, so let me get this up. Yes, I'm wearing, you know, some chic working out home attire, sweatpants, and a sweater. Yes. So basically my dream last night, I know it was broken down in like 3 different parts, but I can't really remember the first part. The second part, I can kind of remember that I was here in Indy, and I found out like a bunch of YouTubers live in Indy, which is like really weird. Like, I know there's really well-known YouTubers that live in Indy. I just have never crossed paths with them because Indy's kind of a big town. But on their vlogs, I know where they live, girl. They live on the north side, you know, the expensive area of Indy. But I live on the west side, so we ain't never gonna cross paths. But in my dream, I found out that everyone lived in this apartment building, which my sister used to live in because she was a dental student. And a lot of like med school, dental school, law students lived in this apartment because it's really close to campus, like literally right across the street from campus. So a lot of people live there, and I found out like a lot of YouTubers live there because it's kind of a higher end apartment complex. And I'm like, why did no one tell me that all these people lived in here? And I guess in my dream, I was a famous YouTuber because like I was like acting like I was mad that like no one told me like this is the it place to live, even though I'm like, I don't know, like looking back at it, I'm like, girl, it's just a regular apartment complex. But like I was just like, nobody told me. And like even like I haven't watched a single video of his, but David Dobrik lived in there and all of that stuff. And I remember Logan Paul was there, Tana. I was like, why are all these people living here? Like everyone, like Indy was like the LA, and I was like, what is going on? But that was my second dream because I can't really remember like what was kind of happening in that second part of the dream. Another weird part of the second dream where it was like moving to the third dream, third part of the dream where we were in a restaurant. It was me and my sister. We went to a restaurant, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching a lot of like, I don't know how to say it, but like a lot of like civil rights era like TV shows, videos. Like, I don't know, I've just been really watching that stuff, and it's not like on purpose, it's just like what I'm into right now. So basically, me and my sister went to this restaurant, and it was literally like a 1950s, 60s themed restaurant. And me and my sister went inside, and we got a table. But like low-key, the vibe, I felt like they didn't have to put the signs up like saying whites only, colored only, like thing. But it was like, you can tell like we weren't supposed to be there. But like they never told us to get out, like, because there was other black people in the restaurant. So I was like, okay, let us sit in and just like eat. But like they weren't like coming to help us. They weren't like serving us or anything. So like me and my sister are just sitting there, and it's like I can tell, I'm like, honey, we are not supposed to be here. Like we're not supposed to be at this we're not supposed to be at this table. We're not even supposed to be at this restaurant. But like, I'm just keeping it to myself because I'm like, I don't want to like to outright say that like we're like literally in the 1960s, like where it's like a white only restaurant. But I'm like, I feel the energy, you know? And finally, a waitress came up and she just starts giving us food. And I'm confused because I'm like, and then I remember looking at my sister, I'm like, did you order this? Because I thought, even though I never left the table, for some reason, I thought like I left or something. And I was like, Marion, did you order this food? And she was like, no, I never ordered. And the girl's like, oh, you never ordered any food? She's like, well, here you guys go. I'll figure it out. Like, but I was like, no, she's just giving us food because she doesn't want to interact with us. And I was like, ugh, whatever. So the next part of my dream was that this is the wildest part. The wildest part of my dream was that something happened outside. Like, I don't know what happened outside, but something was happening to the point of like everyone had to leave the restaurant. Like, people just started vacating because it's like something massive happened. And that's the part of the dream I can't really remember, like why everyone had to leave the restaurant. Everyone had to go, honey. Like, it was like an attack or something. Like, everyone was leaving, but it's like I couldn't tell what was happening. I was just like, what is going on? But like, people are running, and then my sister just leaves. She disappears, and I'm like, where is everyone? Like, the restaurant's empty. Like, I'm just like, what happened? So now this is going into like my third part of like the dream. So I'm like getting out of the restaurant, and I'm like nothing happened. Like, I was just like, why did everyone leave the restaurant? Okay, that's super weird. So it like, I guess in my dream, I like skipped to the next day because it like keeps jumping, like it's like time jumps. And so I'm like, I'm trying to tell this story the best way I can, like my dream the best way I can. But I want to tell my dreams because I want to see like if anyone else can decipher them because I think they're weird. But so I leave the restaurant because like everyone's gone. So it kind of like, as I said, kind of shifts to like a next day. And all I remember, I was like, okay, I got a bike. I'm going to ride this bike, which I don't live in an area that's really bike walk friendly. Like, literally, I'm probably like, if I go all the way down this like busy street, then it's like sidewalks galore, honey, crosswalks galore. Like, you can get around pretty easily, but I'm just like not, like, I'm probably like a quarter of a mile from like walkability, but like this road's too busy and too scary for me to like walk or hop on. So I'm like, like, I'm not gonna do it. But in my dream, I was like, I had a bike and I lived in a pretty walkable area of town, or like, I guess walkable, you know, bike friendly area. So I got a bike and I was like, yes, I'm gonna ride it, honey. I'm gonna ride it through this town. So I get on my bike, and for some weird reason, I'm pedaling. I'm riding, I'm chilling, and I keep hitting potholes. Like, potholes. And the thing is, these are crazy potholes. They would like shake your soul. That's how bad the potholes were. And I was getting confused because I'm like, where are these potholes coming from? Because I'm on the sidewalk. I'm not on a street. So I'm like, why do I keep hitting potholes? But I was just like so determined to keep riding my bike. So I was like, nah, girl, ain't nobody gonna stop me. I'm gonna still ride my bike. So it's like now like this like time loop where I'm like, keep riding my bike. I'm like, I'm just gonna keep riding it. I keep hitting potholes. And then I'm like, you know what? Next day. And it's like, my dream, I just keep riding and hitting potholes, keep hitting potholes. And then like after I hit the pothole and I get upset, it's like the next day restarts. Like, it was super weird. It's like I couldn't get through my day because I couldn't ride my bike like where I need to go. So this was another day. So I'm riding my bike. And I said, today gonna be the day, girl. I'm gonna ride this bike where I need to go because I don't even know where I'm going in my dream. I'm just trying to ride this bike. So I'm riding this bike and I see this restaurant. And apparently it's like a popping brunch spot. And in my head, I was going to work. And I was just like, okay, I'm going to work. Let me stop by because I'm a little early. I'm like, let me stop by, maybe grab some breakfast, grab some coffee, you know, do that, like that cute Instagram thing. And I just remember I'm like, okay, there's a bike rack up there. And I was like, there's a bike rack up there. I'm gonna park my bike, hop into this line, because the line was really, really long. But I was like, you know what? If I'm just grabbing food and going, it's not gonna be that bad versus like me waiting for a table. I was like, okay, let me grab everything and, you know, just go. So I was like, okay, there's a bike rack. Let me park my bike there. So I'm passing this line of people outside. Like it was like a velvet rope type of stuff. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to the restaurant. I'm about to get me some brunch, girl. But I'm passing these people and like they're looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? Like they gave me such this stank look, like, why do you even think you can go to this restaurant? But I'm like, they don't even know my intention of like me going to the restaurant. I'm just like passing by to get to the bike rack. But they're looking at me like, sis, don't even try. Like they were giving me such a stank look. And I just remember my heart and my dream like sunk. I was like, oh my gosh, why did they really hate me? Like, I'm like, I just want to grab breakfast like everyone else. Like, why are they like making this so awkward for me? Like they're like, don't even try. But I think it goes back to like that part like where I was at the restaurant, which I'm like, maybe I'm still like kind of in like the 1960s, not really kind of vibe where I'm the black woman and like you, this is not your type of restaurant, girl. This is like whites only. But like I couldn't tell because like my brain, I'm still in like 2020 where that doesn't happen. So I'm just like, why are they giving me this stink look? Because I'm not even in line, but I'm telling myself all this stuff in my head. So I'm like, my heart's sinking. It hurts, but I'm like, no, I'm still gonna go because like that's what I intended to do. And I ain't gonna stop no one giving me dirty looks. I'm still gonna get, you know, my brunch on or whatever. So I'm like riding up to the bike lock, and guess what I hit again? A damn pothole. And when I tell you this pothole, like I was telling you, all these potholes shake my soul, but this one was so bad. Like so bad. Like I remember I hit the pothole and I went like boom, and then I just flew off my bike. But like I didn't like crash or anything. I just like flew off my bike and landed on my feet. Like I was just like, bitch, what happened? Like I was like, this is some crazy stuff. But like I couldn't really do anything because I was just like, damn, that pothole was mad crazy. But it was crazy because the way that the sidewalk was going, I had to go that way. Like I don't know, like it was like people over here and like the sidewalk was broken up. Like I can't really remember it that well, but like I had to go that way. And I don't remember ever seeing a pothole, but apparently there was a pothole like right there. Like it blew my mind. So like my soul was shaken. That's how bad that pothole was. So I was like, what the F? Like what the F was that? And like I told you, I landed on my feet and I was like walking up to my bike and my bike's broken. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm still outside of this damn brunch spot. So I'm looking at these people. I'm like, oh my gosh, did you see that pothole? Like, that's so crazy. And they're looking at me. They're like, we never saw anything. And I'm like, but my bike is broken. Do you not see how crazy that was? And they're like, no, we didn't see anything. They're like, looking at me like I'm crazy, even though I just flew off my bike. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I the only person that can see these potholes? Like, I'm like, this is crazy because I encounter a pothole every single damn day. Like, I can never get through my day or even start my day without hitting a crazy ass pothole. So I was like, oh my gosh, and no one else is believing that I just crashed through a pothole and my bike is effed up. So I was like, you know what? These people already have an issue with me. I ain't going to keep effing with them because I can already feel the vibe. So I'm like, you know what? Let me grab my broken. And by the way, I am sipping on vanilla bean macaroon Tazo tea, which is super yummy. But so I grabbed my bike and I'm like, okay, these people ain't really effing with me like that. And like, clearly I went through a pothole, but like no one believes me. So I'm like, whatever. So my bike is trash. I just decided to leave it because I'm like, literally, I feel like maybe in my head it's been like over 2 weeks of me trying to ride this bike and the shit ain't working. So I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna leave my bike, which I don't know what that means in my life, where I'm like, I'm trying, but what I'm doing isn't working. I guess my dream is trying to tell me, like, this is not working, you need to leave it alone. But we can discuss that, you know, the comment section if y'all want to decipher my dream. But anyway, so I'm like now on the street and I'm like, I'm just gonna walk. And I don't really even know where I'm walking to because I was assuming I was going to work, but now I'm like not going to work. I don't know where I was going. I was just like, I'm just walking. So of course I'm walking down the street and I see 2 people I went to high school with. And these 2 people I went to high school with had an issue with me. And I don't know why they had a problem with me, but they just like didn't like me. And it's funny because the girl that didn't like me, it was her boyfriend. And now they're like married. Very funny. But like the girl, like, I remember I met her like literally when I was like 24 again. And she still doesn't like me. Which I'm like, what the? Girl, I barely even spoke to you. Like, why do you not like me? But whatever. Petty stuff. So, but in my dream, they were there. They were both walking the street, and I was walking, and I see them, and they see me, and I'm like, ugh. I'm like, girl, like, I don't want any issues, any problems right now, because I'm already having, like, a crappy kind of day. So I'm, like, walking and trying to, like, avoid them, right? But somehow in my dream, I'm, like, right behind them. And they're like walking. They were like, what the F? And so I'm like, what the F? So I'm like trying to speed up so I can go around them because I'm like, I don't want no issues. I don't want any problems because like they really don't like me. So I'm like, let me start speed walking. But like I'm speed walking, but like they start speed walking, like acting like true Karens, being like, why is she speeding up? Like, why is she trying to get close to me? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to get around you. So I was like, okay, speeding up is not working because they're speeding up too. So I start slowing down so I can like create space, but then they start slowing down and I'm like, I literally cannot right now. I need to get away from these people. So I'm like, what do I need to do? Like, where do I get away from these people? Because like they clearly don't like me. I clearly don't care for them. It's not like I don't like them. It's just like I don't care for them because they already proved that they don't like me, so why do I gotta prove anything to them? Like, I don't dislike you, you just dust to me, basically. So we finally get to this crosswalk, and the crosswalk was like a major crosswalk with all of these lanes, and it's like major highway kind of road without being a highway, but it's just a major intersection. And I remember her boyfriend was in their dream they were just boyfriend and girlfriend, they weren't married, but in real life they are married. But it's like in the dream they were like, her boyfriend was like trying to walk because he was like, I'm trying to get away from this girl. I don't know about you, but like this is getting weird. And the girl was like, nah, I'm not trying to die passing this crosswalk because like the road, like the cars are still coming, but he's like, no, like I need to get away from this situation. So he realizes, bitch, I can't cross this road. So he was like, we're gonna have to stay at this awkward cross section, like, or like the side of the road, wherever it is. He's like, we're just gonna have to awkwardly sit here together. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not like hell, but like this is like the awkwardest thing I've probably ever been through in my dream. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, I hate this right now. So I remember I'm going, like, finally the light, like the walk or like don't walk, like the stop walk sign finally turns on to start walking and gives me 10 seconds. Let me tell you, this intersection was huge, bitch. It's like 3 lanes per side. But I saw that 10 seconds and I said, and I remember on the other side, someone opened their car trunk and my headphones were there. So I said, bitch, I'm waiting for my headphones, which I don't know. You know, dreams don't make sense. So I see my headphones and I'm like, bitch, I got 10 seconds. There are my headphones. So I start booking it, bitch. I just start running. And they're looking at me. They're like, bitch, you really trying to leave? And I said, Yes, I ain't trying to be with you guys. Like, we're not doing this awkward thing. So, bitch, I'm sprinting. I'm like, I got 10 seconds. And then by the time I get halfway, it's 5 seconds. And then all of a sudden it goes from 5 seconds to 0 seconds. And I'm like, I'm gonna still go. I'm gonna still make a way, hunty. I don't care. Like, so like these cars are coming now, and I'm like, hit me. I'd rather be hit by a car than deal with these awkward people. So I finally make it across, and then I was like, okay, I'm good. So now I'm going to my car, which I thought I was riding a bike. See, this is how weird dreams are. So, and I realized how long this video is, so I'm just gonna like stop it after this point because it's, girl, it gets crazier after this. But I'm going to my car, but the couple that I left back at the intersection are now at my car. I'm like, what the fudge? Like, why do these people keep, like, why can't I leave them actually alone? Like, leave me alone. So this girl is like, I don't know, like, we were, and the thing is, my dream, we were on the opposite side. Like, we were on, like, the opposite side of the road. So we weren't driving on the right, we were driving on the left. So the car was on the left. Like, everything was on the right side. Yeah, everything was on the right side because we drive on the left. Like, British style. Like, we were just opposite. I don't know why we were opposite. But, like, we were opposite. But it makes sense to the next part of the dream. But, like, the car was opposite. So the girl is coming through the passenger side, which in America we'd be on the driver's side. But she's coming through the passenger side. And I'm like, I'm in the back seat because I told you I saw my headphones in the trunk. So I'm putting them in the back seat. And I'm, like, telling this girl, I'm like, what are you doing? You're literally in my car. Like, get out. And she's like, no. And so she starts cussing at me. And I'm bewildered at this point. And I'm like, girl, you know you came to me, honey. I was trying to avoid you. Bitch, I risked my life crossing a street not to be able to talk to you. Like, that's how deep it is. Because I don't want anything with you. So this girl is, like, pulling a whole Karen on me. And was like, just trying to instigate something with me. And I'm like, I don't get you, sis. And I'm annoyed. So I'm just like, please, 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 like, I'm not entertaining this stuff. Like, get out of my car. You're in my passenger seat. Like, I don't want to even get in my driver's seat because you're there. You're there. So, like, this other girl pops up, and I don't know who this girl was. Like, I don't remember her face or anything, but, like, I just remember arms. So she was there, and she's just trying to instigate shit, too. Like, as if she needs to be here. But this girl, like, mind you, this girl is white, and her boyfriend's white. So the boyfriend disappeared. I don't know what happened to him, but, like, she starts calling me the N-word. But, like, not calling me the N-word, but, like, she keeps saying the N-word. Like, she's saying, like, the N-word as if she's, like, saying lyrics. Like, she's rapping. But I know, like, deep down inside, like, no, sis, you're trying to say the N-word to me, but you want to be, like, slick about it. And I said, no, we're not about to do this, because I'm trying to keep my cool, because I'm like, I'm trying to get out of here, guys. You guys are the only people that are hindering me. So this girl starts saying it, and I remember in my dream, I was like, are you really saying the N-word? And she's like, oh my gosh, no. Like, as if, like, she, like, she understood that I understood what she was saying, and she starts panicking, but she's like, no, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm just saying song lyrics. The real Karen excuse of the world. But she's like, no, I'm not saying the N-word to you. I'm just, like, saying, like, the N-word as, like, song lyrics. Like, I don't have any, like, venom in it. But, like, when she was singing it, she was very, honey, she was trying to comfort me. So anyway, so she, like, she was, like, panicking because she, like, the worst thing a person can be called is racist, right? So she's, like, panicking because she's like, I'm not racist. Like, I'm telling you, like, I am not racist. And I'm like, then why do you keep saying the N-word directed at me, sis? So anyway, I just, like, get annoyed, and I'm like, So this girl gets annoyed, and I'm like, I'm not. So I grab her arm, and I said, we're not about to do this. You need to get out of my car. And I'm still in the back seat, and I'm like, I'm, like, grabbing her, because I'm like, I'm about to drag this girl out, because this is the only option I have now, because she's not leaving my car. So I'm dragging this girl, and this girl is like, no, acting like I'm the one who started everything with her. And I was like, no, you started with me. You were in my car. You're my property. I'm about to drag you, girl. So I'm grabbing her. And then that's why I'm saying there's another person there, because I see other arms. And like, they're trying to like push me away, but like also hold her. Like, it was a mess. So I was like, I can't. I literally cannot. So I'm like, split second decision. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna just start beating this girl because I need to prove a point. But here's the thing. I don't know if I'm the only person that deals with this stuff, but like in a dream, I have the worst problems. Like, I can't do these things. So in my dream, I can never fight. Like, no matter how hard I try to throw a punch or like ball up my fist, I cannot do that. Like, I can literally not physically fight in my dream, which is like scares me, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm trying to like defend myself and I cannot fight. And then the other thing I can't do in my dream, I can't run. Like, I don't know why I can't physically run. Like, I try to run. Like, of course, when I was going through the intersection, I'm trying to run, but you can see, like, I didn't make it. Like, I barely made it because I'm going so slow. But it's like I'm trying. It's like my legs and my body aren't coordinated enough in my dream, which I don't know why. Like, it's just not coordinated enough to do those things, which is weird. Maybe that's another like dream decipher thing. So anyway, so I'm like trying my best to swing at this girl, but like I can't. So I'm like trying, and I'm throwing weak punches, but like I guess they were efficient enough. Like, I guess my weak punches in my dream world is like sufficient punches in real life. I guess maybe I was doing the actual motion. So like this girl is like freaked out now because she's like, oh my gosh, I really did push her to the edge, honey. Like, I did push her. So she's panicking, but now she's like, I told you, she's pulling a real true Karen on me. And she finally leaves my car. She's like, oh my gosh, you assaulted me. And I said, honey, you don't know what assault is. So I hop in my car and I run them. Like, the passenger door is still open. So like, I just book on the gas, and they're like standing on that side of the passenger door, and the door is open, so it just pops them, and I'm like, Jesus, I'm gonna commit murder in my dream. But I just start booking in my car because I said, I'm leaving this mess. So I'm like, I'm gonna get arrested because I did assault these people, and then I just hit them with my car. But I said, not today. So as I told you, I'm driving like on the opposite side. Like, I'm driving on this side. I'm driving on the right side, kind of like UK style. So I realize when I'm getting out of the parking structure, even though we were on the road, I went through like a tunnel and then I was in a parking structure, which is weird because I'm trying to get away from the cops, even though the cops don't know what I did. But like, I'm terrified because I'm scared that like I beat these people up, and then I beat the girl up, but then I hit the other person 2 plus her with my car. So I'm like, I'm really gonna go to jail. And like, the way my dream is set up, it's like black people are not well liked. So I'm like terrified. I'm like, I'm gonna go to jail for a million years, bitch. I can't even get service in a restaurant. So I'm like flying out of the parking structure, and then now I'm on this road and I'm going through this gate, and then I realize I'm actually back home in Kenya, and I'm like, oh my gosh, guys, the tables have just turned. So I'm like, I'm back home in a country that's predominantly black. I'm not in America anymore, or wherever I was in. I'm not there. Like, I'm in Kenya. So I'm like, I can pull strings now, girl. I can go to any cop and tell them, hey, here's like 1 million shillings, arrest this girl for like life. So I'm like, I can trade these. I can like flip the tables on her. So I'm now in Kenya, like driving on the road. So it like makes sense that my car is the backwards basically. So I'm like driving, and like I'm driving perfectly. Like, I know exactly how to drive in Kenya. And I remember trying to get these police officers to be like, hey, we need to arrest this girl because she tried me. But like, somehow I see all these police, but like I couldn't stop them or whatever, or like it was like I wasn't trying, even though in my brain I was like, Jacqueline, you need to get ahead of this. But it's like, for some reason, I just like wasn't, which was really weird. So, but like the next part of my dream is like I meet my family and all that stuff there, which is, that's kind of like a weird story too. But I'm just gonna end it off of there because it's so weird. Like that dream was really, really weird, and I don't understand. Like I'm just tired because it's like I always have the weirdest dreams, and I really don't know why. And you know, I said in the beginning it's maybe because of like maybe like the sleeping aids that like I take to sleep and stay asleep. Maybe they're just making me have wild dreams, but like in general I have pretty crazy wild dreams. But yeah, it's just like I don't know, like I'm really big on like deciphering or decoding dreams. So I'm like, what if like my dream I'm trying to like tell myself something, like maybe with the potholes thing, that it's like maybe the things you're doing right now aren't good for you. Maybe you need to do a different option. Or like that girl like from my high school, that's like maybe I have unresolved feelings towards her, and I'm still like not towards her because I've seen her again, and I told you it was kind of weird, but like I don't know, I'm kind of like over it. But it's like maybe I still have like unresolved feelings towards just like my past life, maybe not my past life but just like my past in general. And I'm just like, dang, I'm a complicated ass person, so weird. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about my dreams because I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but I don't want to be like saying weird, just sit down and talking about my dreams. But I really liked it, like sitting down talking about my dream, seeing if like we can all decode it together, because Lord Jesus knows I need help. Because also I have a reoccurring dream that I'm still in high school and I'm failing my classes, which I get so annoyed because like I've graduated with my master's, so I'm like, why do I always resort? Oh my god, guys. Maybe I have really unresolved issues. Maybe that could be. But yeah, let's decode this and let's decipher this stuff. It's gonna be fun. So anyway, it's literally in the morning. It's still 8 o'clock, so I'm gonna finish sipping my tea, start working on some credits because I work in finance and it's the grind never stops, honey. So I'm gonna be working on that stuff today. So I hope you guys have a great day. Just enjoy your day. I'll probably come back with the next video of saying like where I've been and kind of what I've been doing during this time, because as you can tell, I've been working like 60-hour weeks plus I haven't had a day off since like, well, I've had like holidays off, but like not like actual vacation since like quarantine starting. So I'm exhausted. So yeah, but I will see you guys next video, and hope you guys have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening whenever you guys are watching this, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to this video. Okay, we got a deal. We good? Okay, bye.